Hey there, welcome to Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we are making apple flan. Here's what we need. And I'm going to start off by making the sweet short crust pastry, basic sweet short crust, and because it makes extra, we only need half. We're going to freeze the rest. So let's go. Okay, so last time I tried to do something like this where it told me to sieve it all on the bench and put water in it, it looked like a tsunami coming over the side of the bench, and lucky I didn't get that on video. Maybe not, I don't know. So this time I'm going to play it safe, use the bowl. Alright, so here's what we need to do. Grab your bowl, get your sieve, 2 1/4 cups of plain flour, make a well in the centre. Realise everything you touch is going to turn white, so maybe have some water or a tea towel on hand, or a hand towel, or your apron if you want to wash it every week. Okay. After that we need 1/2 cup of caster sugar. I'm sort of organised, but I'm not. This recipe is a few days late being cooked, let's just say that. And I don't like to move forward with the next recipe until I finished another one, except the other night I had to because I had to eat dinner. Dinner comes before dessert sometimes. Okay, in goes that. Also into that well, we would like the 2 egg yolks and the water. The water is 2 tablespoons of water. Use cold water. The colder the better, because you're going to get a nice pastry that way. So I'm just going to grab that water. With the eggs, what I'm going to do is crack them into the cup. Yolks go in, whites are going in the freezer for a later date. Oh, yeah, I told you I'm sort of organised. This thing, these are great. They're called an egg separator. I've probably got some fancy name for them, but that's my name for it. Watch how easy this is. Don't prove. Oh, all right, never mind. That was a bad example. I think my eggs have been shaken up a bit too much. Doesn't matter, I'll get it out. Smarty, good egg. The only egg that has ever done that for ages happens to be the one on camera. Don't worry, I'm still using it. Just I'm not going to have a very good egg white for what's left, so I might as well just put the white in as well. Alright. Chuck this into here. Ugh, everything I touch is filthy. So that is the egg separator, which very rarely does that. I must have cracked it too far. There we go. Right, we will get it right the second time. Okay, you just grab a teaspoon because you basically want that globule into there. Yolky. And the white goes into there. Freeze these if you need any egg whites for any reason. grab them out of the freezer. The yolks don't freeze well at all. I've tried it. But the whites, yes, very well. You just got to make sure you get them out early enough so you're not trying to get them defrosted in the microwave. So I'm going to freeze those very soon. Wipe down my bench because it's disgusting. Okay, so now all we have to do is put this butter in. Now, it said to soften the butter. That doesn't mean melt it because we're going to use our fingertips to put this all in. Into the well, just grab a teaspoon. Just make sure you get all your butter out. Okay, now the good thing about having all this butter or this pastry left over, because this makes 450 grams and we only need half of it. Technically that means if you want to right now, you can double the apple flan ingredients and make 2, or you put the pastry in the freezer, and then if you need 225 grams, might be the equivalent of 2 sheets of frozen short crust pastry. So in other words, instead of using that frozen short crust pastry, next time you need short crust pastry, you've already got some homemade one. And the good thing about the homemade one is you can roll it to the thickness you want it. It's a lot more pliable. Alright, so we're going to just do it with the fingertips, lightly knead it. Squish it in with your hand. Just knead it lightly until it's a dough. We're going to wrap this in cling wrap and chill in the refrigerator for an hour before we're ready to use it. The funny thing is I'm also supposed to be doing housework today. So my mum is in hospital at the moment. Probably by the time this episode finally hits the air, because I'm so far behind with episodes, hopefully there's good news at the end of it. I'm supposed to also be doing my housework because it is technically my day off. However, this afternoon I am going to visit her. Normally when I go to visit in the afternoon, it ends up leading into dinner time, so this is probably going to end up being my dinner. I say that, but I don't mean it. Right, just make sure everything's all incorporated in. So this is, as I said, this is the short crust pastry that you use quite regularly if you do desserts, because it's a sweet short crust pastry. Obviously, it's made sweet by having the sugar in it, but take advantage of the extra part, and it doesn't take long. It's just the waiting around. If you don't want to make the pastry, my suggestion is to just follow my recipe from where I start from after this part, and you can just use a sheet of the frozen and continue on with what we're doing, because we're just going to put it into a square pan anyway and cook it, so it's similar. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to wrap that, put the timer on for an hour, and we're going to be back. Stand corrected, wrap it in baking paper. I'm just reading it. Parchment paper is also known as the baking paper. Just do it like that. Pop your timer on for an hour and we'll be back. We'll probably start and get the other parts ready, but Anyway, see how we go. Okay, so grab yourself a square baking dish and get the flour out of the fridge. We're going to weigh that out to 225 grams. In the meantime, we want the oven on to 220. Mine being not fan force, but whatever it wants to be. I'm going to do mine at 200. So set this aside, grab your scales, because what we're going to do is weigh out the pastry. Okay, so that made 581 grams. So that was more than it was going to be anyway, which is very weird. So we're going to cut this and hope that we're going to get the right amount that I need. Nope, see, we want 225 grams, which is weird. That's not enough. Okay, close enough. So I'll set this aside for later because I'm going to put that in the freezer and I want to mark exactly how much is there. Okay, so this bit here that we're using, grab some flour and put it down on the surface. And we're going to roll it to the size so it will line the baking pan. This is the good thing about when you make your own pastry. You can make it to whatever thickness you want it, obviously as long as it fits your pan. Now I'm using a pan that's a bit bigger than the size that they wanted, but I don't think it'll be a problem. So we're going to have enough. Hopefully it's going to be enough. Okay, so when you think you've got it to the right size, roll it onto your rolling pin. And then what you do is you drape it over and roll it. Now, it's obviously got overhang. So what we do is we just make it fit. Where we have overhang, we bring to where we need it. Where we need it, we just press it on. That's it, just keep pushing the extra bits around. Just build it up. So prick that with a fork. We're going to blind bake that for 10 minutes. And while that's going on, we're going to get the rest of it ready. Okay, so 350 grams of eating apples. These ones were really nice. I know because I had one while I was weighing them out. I'm going to peel them, cut the core out of them, and then the best way to thinly slice them is a mandolin slicer. If you haven't got one of these, check them out because they're really good for when you're trying to do things like potato bake and everything where you want everything cut thin but you're not that good with a knife. I'm not that good with a knife, so I like to use. So I'm going to peel them first, cut them to get the core out, and then we're going to do the mandolin. Okay, now the apples are good to go. Bring the mandolin slicer over closer. Pop it on there. Use this because I've grated my fingers a few times. I'm going to try and go that way. I'll just show you with one what we're left with. A nice thin apple. Alright, finish the rest. Okay, that's what it looks like after 10 minutes. If you want to make it a bit darker, you can, but the problem is though that it might burn. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So we're going to just put the slices in. Overlap them. If you find you've got some bits that are really bad, take them out. We can cut around them. I'm just going to put extra on the top because I've got more left over. Did say to overlap them. Okay, now over this we are going to spread the brush with the lemon juice, which is the juice of half a lemon, and then we're going to sprinkle them with a tablespoon of sugar and cook in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay, just found a piece of plastic off the thing. We don't want that. Doesn't taste nice. Okay, juice of half a lemon. Brush the lemon juice over the apple slices. Okay, and we need a tablespoon of sugar to go over the top of that. Sprinkle it over. We're going to put this in the oven then for 15 minutes. Beautiful. Alright, in it goes, 15 minutes. Okay, so in our 100 mils of boiling water, it doesn't need to be super boiling, but since it says we're going to melt jam, I think it should be fairly hot. We are adding 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of apricot jam. And we want that to all dissolve. Alright, stir that about. with the second lot of water that we needed, which was 3/4 of a cup. That didn't have to be super hot. All we're doing with that is we are adding 1 teaspoon of corn flour. And what this will do is this will thicken it. Mix that all in. This needs to go in with that, and then it needs to be 3 to 4 minutes boiled until it's glossy, but I think we have actually done that step by doing what we did. So what I'm going to do is find a bigger jug. I'll go with the clear one so you can see what's going on. Alright, so this is the water, the sugar and the jam. I could probably put it all together in the microwave. Chuck in the corn flour with the extra water. Okay. We're going to boil this, so I'm just going to put it in the microwave for 1.5 minutes. I think we definitely melted the jam by doing that, which might not be a good thing, but we'll see how it looks. It'll be fine. We're getting a little bit burnt around the edges, so we're going to leave it at that. Let's see what this glaze looks like, because we apparently pour it over the top. Ah, look, it's looking a bit more apricot-y colour. I think that should do. We're just pouring this over the top. And then it's ready to serve up. I'm just going to let the water soak in as I go. Something tells me it doesn't look right, so I'm just going to leave it at that probably. Alright, enjoy and thanks for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. Bye!